a heart caught up in doubt and worry, I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear, swirl within my heart. Still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. When I'm down and ready to surrender, when times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, sweet arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. With a heart caught up in doubt and worry, I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear, swirl within my heart. Still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, down and ready to surrender. When times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, swinging arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light glowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. With a heart caught up in doubt and worry, I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear, sorrow within my heart. Still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light glowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. When I'm down and ready to surrender, when times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, swinging arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light glowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear, sorrow within my heart. Still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. When I'm down and ready to surrender, when times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, swinging arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. With a heart caught up in doubt and worry, I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear, sorrow within my heart. Still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, swinging arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light glowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. With a heart caught up in doubt and worry, I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear, swirl within my heart. Still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light glowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. When I'm down and ready to surrender, when times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, swinging arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light glowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high. With a heart caught up in doubt and worry, I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear, swirl within my heart. Still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. When I'm down and ready to surrender, when times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, sweet arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light glowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high,
Wow, I look really dark. I look even darker. Good morning. I'm really sorry. I'm just testing out the lights and what to do with the lights. I'm not sure what to do with the lights. But I look really dark. I think for the sermon I'll come right there so I'm not too dark. But good morning. If you're wondering why is Todd Sensei wearing a kukui, it's because unfortunately I left the what we call the saibo, the hat, and my shaku at Whittier Church. I just realized that this morning. But since I will be going up to Los Angeles this weekend, I will make sure to pick it up because I can't believe I forgot it. But aloha kakayakako. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for our May monthly memorial ceremony. So today's focus is really on the mitama for this particular month as well. And I do hope that in the process, when you're hearing these names, I do ask, and just as I asked during Mitama Matsuri, I do ask that you please not just listen for their names. I want you to remember who these people were and the good times you had with them and the kind of people that they were. And if you recognize their names, if you hear a family name that you recognize, I want you to really think about them, offer prayers of, just say something like this: thank you so much, you touched my life. I want you to use this opportunity as a way of reflecting it, and truly as an opportunity to offer your hearts to the Mitama spirits. Because I really think I don't emphasize that enough, and I want you to use that time also for that. I think it's a wonderful time. Back home in Honolulu, it was one of my favorite parts of the monthly memorial service is just to hear their names and to reflect on these individual lives. So I ask that you please do that. So let's begin today's prayer service with prayer of sincere toritsugi. So if you go to the hyperlink and click that on, the prayer of sincere toritsugi should pop up. Haide. Prayer of sincere toritsugi. I am a Konko Kyo believer. I believe in Ikigami Konko Daijin, Tenchi Kane no Kami. I have come today to practice my faith, appreciate and acknowledge the blessings, favors, and interventions of Tenchi Kane no Kami. Honor the ancestors and learn more about the faith of Konko Daijin. As I learn more about the heart of Tenchi Kane no Kami, I nurture the faith of my spiritual family. Thus, I boldly confess that my mind is alert, my heart is receptive, and I will never be the same as long as I practice the faith and receive toritsugi. Kigami Konko Daijin sama, Tenchi Kane no Kami sama. Thank you. Haide. Let's begin. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Amatsunori to Takaman no haran ni kamuzumarimasu. かむろぎかむろみのみこともちて、すねみおやかんみざなぎのみこと、つくしのひゅうがんの立ちばなの、おどんのわわぎはらにみそぎ、はらいたまうときにあれませる、はらいとのおかみたち、もろもろのまがごとつにけがれよ、はらいたまいきよめたまえと申すことのよしよ、あまつかみくにつ神やおよろずの神たちともに、雨のふちこまの耳振り立ててきこしめせと、かしごみかしごみも申す。Please open your prayer books to page 2 for the mediation prayer. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Ikiyami Kongko Daijin, sincerely and wholeheartedly, each and every day. May we receive the mediation anew with all our hearts and souls. On this day, this very moment, Ikiyami Kongko Daijin sama, Ikiyami Kongko Daijin sama, Ikiyami Kongko Daijin sama, Ikiyami Kongko Daijin sama. 一度敬礼、please bow your heads in prayer. かけんまくもはやに賢き天地可憐の神の大広前ひがみ金剛大臣の前に本公教サンディエゴ教会所かしこみもまおさOn this cool, very cool spring moving on to summer day here at the Conco Church San Diego. On behalf of your beloved children, we have joined in one heart to share our love, sincerity, and appreciation to you for the blessings, favors, and interventions we receive daily from you, as well as the love, guidance, and workings of the Mitama spirits. We offer our sincere apologies for all known and unknown irreverences that we have knowingly and unknowingly committed. We offer our hearts of apologies for the vague and blatant acts and or words that we maybe have said that hurt another person. We go on to our knees to repent of any act that we may have done that may have been elitist, homophobic, racist, xenophobic, transphobic, an act that hurt another person intentionally or unintentionally. We apologize for the meguri of our ancestors. Through this opportunity and in this now, we commit ourselves to becoming better people who are sincerely a reflection of your heart and love. We also offer up our hearts of apologies that at times our faith we take advantage of the blessings and favors showered upon us. And we forget about you. Taught us, reflection of the utmost. I ask that you take our hands and help us to use this opportunity as a means of reflection and resurrection upon our lives, faiths, hearts, and actions. We pray that the Mikama related to the San Diego Church, North County San Diego Gathering, as well as the Harukatani Kosha, continue to be elevated and grow spiritually in your bosom, as well as receive your virtue, Shintoku, and the virtue of the Mikama, Neitoku. Hear their prayers. Help them to help their descendants. Through the practice of our faiths, please allow the meguri or accumulated offenses / sins to melt away so that it is easier for all of us, the living and the dead, to receive and recognize your love, virtue, and grace in our lives. We ask for your protection and guidance with every step we take. Help us to live a kami-centered life as we are all allowed to live in the universe through your grace. We pray for the victims of and Mitama of tragedies, natural and human-made disasters to recuperate materially, physically, mentally, and spiritually. We implore you to please use us as your instruments of peace to make an impact, big or small, on our communities, cities, counties, and countries. Guide us in our hearts and our actions to be embracing, loving, kind, and generous. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, let us offer forgiveness. Where there is discord, let us build peace. Let the church continue to be filled with love and joy to help heal the hearts of those seeking to be saved. Fill the church, its ministers and members with laughter and harmony to help increase the joy in the lives and souls of those who come into contact with the San Diego Church, its ministers and members. This morning, we honor our ancestors and those who passed away in the month of May for our May monthly memorial service. We pray that all the spirits will hear and receive our prayers and hearts. As this prayer comes to an end, we pray that the blessings and favor of today's service is granted and received by all here today and those who could not be with us. Me te aloha pumehana, mahalo anuie, our beloved Ikami Kongko Daijin, Tenchi Kananu Kami. Now, please raise your heads. 指導ともに拝礼 4 sincere claps along with the head officiant. Please open your prayer books to page 29 for Shin Tokusanji. Haogi matsureba ten takaku. Haogi matsureba ten takaku. Orogami matsureba chi wa atsushi. 神の恵みに生かさるる身の幸いぞありがたき我が生き神の恩取り次ぎひとひもかくる時のなく天地の神の恩守り遠き近きの隔てなし寛一くしみはよろずよにあまねく満ちて果てしなく感計いはくすしくて人の思いぞを呼ばざる我ら今月今日やび祭りてひたすらに神の御影をたたえ祭らん神の比例を仰ぎ祭らんPrayer for the ending of the novel coronavirus pandemic. ひがみ金光大臣様、天地金の神様、ひがみ金光大臣様、天地金の神様。We offer our hearts of appreciation for your love and virtue as we are allowed to live in this very moment. Currently, pandemic is rapidly spreading throughout the world. The novel coronavirus pandemic is causing much concern and raising anxieties amongst people and nations. Thus, we offer our hearts and prayers to you to end this pandemic as soon as possible. Sadly, there are those who have passed away because of this virus, and we put our hands together to pray for their spirit's peace and salvation. We also pray for those who are infected by the virus to quickly heal and recuperate in order that they may continue to contribute to society and the world. We pray for political, economical, and educational reform so that all the anxieties and distrust we have been harboring will dissipate and we will be blessed with societal order. For those that are suffering in the midst of this pandemic, please allow their faiths to be resurrected and their livelihoods be restored. Thus, now more than ever, we commit to reviving our hearts of appreciation, having a heart of kami, and praying for and guiding others. May we all be awakened to your truth, that a faith that helps others helps ourselves. Use us to help you in this crusade to end this pandemic and bring peace to this world. It is our sincere prayer that the people of the world will not only have peace of mind, but also live happily, safely, and healthily. ひがみ金光大臣様、天地金の神様、ひがみ金光大臣様、天地金の神様。 Chido Haide for sincere claps. Chido Haide for sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Chido K-Date, please bow your heads in prayer. 我がくも尊き、教祖金剛大臣が生まれ、お育てくだされ。We honor and appreciate the parents who gave birth and raised the source of teachings, 金剛大臣。神取十平の御霊、神取十平君の御霊の神。神取下姫の御霊の神、厚く御礼申し上げたてまつります。仰がれたももあなとうと、生きても神、死にても神と称えられたまいし、金光教大阪教会初代、白神や広間道分けの御事の御霊の神、二大教会長白神道置きや高根の君の御霊の神、金剛教道広教会初代長木皿七三牛豊木牛の御霊の神、金剛教難波教会初代本土逸垣藤森焼高野君の御霊の神、金剛教東京教会初代畑徳三郎東の道分けの牛の御霊の神、大教会長畑はじめ牛の御霊の神、三大教会長畑清牛の御霊の神、三大教会長夫人 畑久美子姫の御霊の神、ありがとうございます。のご霊殿に御心も麗しく静まります。本公教サンフランシスコ教会三大教会長、松井文雄氏の御霊の神、三大教会長夫人、松井文子姫の御霊の神、本公教玉水教会初代、湯川安太郎三牛道照三柱牛の御霊の神、初代夫人湯川秀興たらし道照姫の御霊の神、大教会長湯川茂姫の茂牛の御霊の神、大教会長夫人湯川富雄姫の御霊の神、三大教会長湯川康夫氏の御霊の神、三大教会長夫人湯川真理子姫の御霊の神、本公教銀座教会初代湯川誠一牛の御霊の神、初代夫人湯川津屋姫の御霊の神、大教会長湯川信直牛の御霊の神、ありがとう。三年後の広き陶器身を思い持ちて、一の見光を甘かがし、支援の徳を国かがし、勘取り次の技を務め、本公教三年後教会初代、湯川のりかず氏の御霊の神、ありがとう。湯川家、土井家、高橋家、ハンファミリー、デニスファミリー、ペティッツファミリー、ブスケファミリー、ビデンスファミリー、中尾家、八田家、渋谷家、牧野家、今岡家の先祖代々の御霊の神様に厚く御礼申し上げます。石渡春子姫の御霊の神、後藤勲氏の御霊の神、後藤智代姫の御霊の神、武田貞子姫の御霊の神、岩崎さ姫の御霊の神、児玉正幸牛の御霊の神、児玉菊江姫の御霊の神、児玉京子ドルフィー大戸寺の御霊の神、高橋春子マーガレット姫の御霊の神、工藤徳郎牛の御霊の神、石松梅子姫の御霊の神、清水幸喜彦の御霊の神、大場愛子姫の御霊の神、大場正則牛の御霊の神、坂井春子姫の御霊の神、坂井和子姫の御霊の神、伊藤光姫の御霊の神、大田玉姫の御霊の神、高橋須磨子姫の御霊の神、高龍右衛門氏の御霊の神、ありがとうございます。スピースファミリー、木助、アレアファミリー、小須賀ファミリー、橋家、伊藤千尋の家の御霊の神、服部家、神林家、若林家、ミークファミリー、望月家、ドランファミリー、フィンリーファミリー、野添家、フランクファミリー、浅野家、ジュビレッティファミリー、須藤家、井ノ口家、楠木家、宮井家、長島家、デイビスファミリー、オブライアンファミリー、ディロウェイファミリー、高見家、秋野家、角田家、メイファミリー、田中京信の家の御霊の神、田中義雄の家の御霊の神、宮本喜八の家の御霊の神、大本家、西尾家、坂東光弘の家の御霊の神、谷口小波の家の御霊の神、ブラスタスキスファミリー、河野ファミリー、飯森家、キャルフンファミリー、藤本家、伊藤和子の家の御霊の神、森家、クエルチャルファミリー、カミングスファミリー、ヘックファミリー、ホースメンファミリー、アイゼックスファミリー、浜川家、モーリスファミリー、オーラーファミリー、サハラ家、スカタ家、ズンモルトファミリー、リドルスバーガーファミリー、エヴァンスファミリー、川崎家、ホリンズワーファミリー、瀬川家、浦田家、ブラウンファミリー、テプナッパファミリー、ジョーファミリー、松井家、松野家、ガアンファミリー、福田家、川崎家、ロペスファミリー、ゴームスファミリー、ホンフェルファミリー、菅原家、 横塚家、ギルモアファミリー、高橋家、長川家、宮本家、岩下家、青野家、山城家、森里家、羽生家、森本家、小垣家、ビードファミリー、ミーファミリー、オッネンファミリー、ワン家の統治親よよの親たち、からやからもろもろの御霊の神たちに熱く熱く御礼申し上げて祭ります。サンディエゴ教会に関係あるもろもろの家の先祖代々の御霊の神、ゆえんもえんもろもろの御霊の神様に熱く熱く御礼申し上げて祭ります。On behalf of the Ujiko of the San Diego Church, San Diego County, the states of Arizona, state of Texas, state of Oklahoma, state of Hawaii, and Estados Unidos Mexicanos, I, Padzenji Takahashi, offer the following prayer. This morning we take the opportunity to remember and honor the following Mitama, who passed away in the month of May. Kyoso Konko Daijin Sama no Gobodo Sama, the mother of Konko Dai, the birth mother of Konko Daijin, Kandori Shimo Hime no Mitama no Kami, Kyoso Konko Daijin Sama no Jijo, the second daughter of Konko Daijin, Fujikura Hime no Mitama no Kami, Tamamizu Kyokai Shodai Fujin, wife of the founding minister of the Tamamizu Church, Yukawa Hideo Kitarashi Michiteru Hime no Mitama no Kami, Takoma Kyokai Shodai, the founding minister of the Takoma Church, Otsubo Kamekichi Ushi no Mitama no Kami, Dairen Kyokai Shodai, Okayama Chubu Kyokai Shodai, the founding minister of both the Dairen Church in China and the Okayama Chubu Church in Japan, Matsuyama Narimitsu Ushi no Mitama no Kami, Moto Konko Kyokan, Moto Konko Kyo Gakuincho, former Archbishop of the Konko Kyo organization and former headmaster of the Konko Kyo Seminary, Tagashi Masao Ushi no Mitama no Kami, Fukuzaki Kyokai Nirai Kyokai Cho, the second head minister of the Konko Church of Fukuzaki, Ushio Haru Teru Tamamichi Morihime no Mitama no Kami, Honolulu Kyokai Sandai Kyokai Cho, the third head minister of the Honolulu Church, Yoshino Masahiko Izu Magokoro Isao ne Ushi no Mitama no Kami, Waipaku Kyokai Cho Fujin, Sandai Kyokai Cho Fujin, the third head minister's wife of the Waipaku Church, Yasutake Mitsuko Nigi Kono Hana Hime no Mitama no Kami, William Meek no Mitama no Kami, Franklin Beadle no Mitama no Kami, Alan Neil Morris no Mitama no Kami, Clarice Meek no Mitama no Kami, Marguerite Elsie Beadle no Mitama no Kami, Carl Calvin Beadle no Mitama no Kami. Together, the San Diego Church Ohana offers our hearts of appreciation to all of you for all you have done for each of us, society, and the world. We thank you for continuing to be in and a part of our lives. We offer a special prayer of appreciation to the following Mitama who are celebrating honorary years. Kyoso Konko Daijin Sama no Gobodo Sama, the mother of Konko Daijin, Kandori Shimon Hime no Mitama no Kami, 170 years. Dairen Kyokai Shodai, Okayama Chubu Kyokai Shodai, the founding minister of the Konko Church of Dairen in China and Okayama Chubu Church in Japan, Matsuyama Narimitsu Ushi no Mitama no Kami, 70 years. Waipaku Kyokai Shodai, Waipaku Kyokai Sandai Kyokai Cho Fujin, Yasutake Mitsuko Nigi Hana Hime no Mitama no Kami, 1 year. To all the Mitama called upon this morning, we thank you for your many years of watching over, guiding, and protecting us every single day. Thank you for embracing us daily with your love and warmth. We know there are times that you might want to slap the back of our heads. We know that you do ask Kami-sama, what did I get myself into? Or you roll your eyes. But we ask you to please continue to embrace and spoil us with your love, understanding, and virtue. We implore you to help and support us to never give up in regards to the challenges in our lives. Guide us to turn our hearts to and trust in Kami. Please guide your descendants to the church learn more about our teachings of love and humanity. This morning we pray for the many who have passed away tragically due to war, natural disasters, and crime. We offer our hearts of prayers of love to all who have passed via illness and accident or some other tragic means. We pray for your hearts to find peace and healing. It is our sincere prayer that along with Tenchi Kanano Kami, you will help to heal the wounds of the victims hurt. Comfort yours and other family members whose hearts are broken. And finally, we ask that you please join us in creating a world of not acceptance and not of tolerance, but instead of love. So no more tragedies and wars will take place. Please return to Kami-sama's bosom of love, grace, and virtue. Receive Higami Konko Daijin's Toritsugi. Practice true faith with your descendants and open your hearts to Kami's love, truth, true okage, and virtue, and walk together joyfully and in appreciation with your descendants in faith. As this prayer comes to an end, we ask that all Mikama honored this month, as well as the families of all the Mikama called forth, that you please receive our prayers and hearts. Me ke aloha kumehana, mahalo. Now, please raise your heads. Shiro tomoni haire. 4 sincere claps along with the head officiant. Please open your prayer books to page 36 for Sosen Sanji. Yoyon no uya wa waga hien no kami waga kami to kokoro tsukushite いつきまつらんな心つぐしていつきまつらんな尊きみよやの神たちよ海の子のために永遠の柱を沈めたてたまい初婚のために世のなりわいよ守り助けたまい隠り世の見えぬ境にましませども右尽くしみのみ心は美しい世に変わらせたまわずさきみたまのまさきぐさきわえたまいくしみたまのくしびんにめぐみた いて志は秋の柱の動きなくなりは湯は結ぶつなめんのゆるりなく真心清らんに励みつとめしめたまいゆからやからやわらぎやいてひにげんにうらやすく楽しましめたまいゆついに移しよんのことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまい見つくしみよおむらしめたまわんものと神の実りの大へなるをかしこみかたじげなみみおやの恵みのおぼろげならぬおうれしみ喜び申すことをみ心も涼やかにひこしめしたまえと申す穴くしびのみおやのみかま穴くしびのみおやのみかま穴ととのみおやの神穴ととのみおやの神地動拝礼 4 sincere claps地動拝礼 4 sincere clapsまだ好きかけて祈らないよ世の親親の御親の神の支配をまだ好きかけて祈らないよ世の親親の御親の神の支配を拝礼 4 sincere claps拝礼 4 sincere claps Please open your prayer book to page 6 for recitation of the Tenchi Kakitsuke. ひがみ金光大臣天地金の神一心に願え影は我が心にあり 今月今日で頼め。Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever. On this very day, pray. Oración de Tenchi Kakitsuke. A través de Ikigami Konko Daijin, Orea Tenchi Kanu no Kami, con todo el corazón. A través de Ikigami Konko Daijin, Orea Tenchi Kanu no Kami, con todo el corazón. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. Ore, ahora en este momento. Ore, ahora en este momento. Prayer of the Konkokyo Religious Organization. By drawing on Kyoso-sama's story of faith between Kami and himself as our base, let us weave his story into our individual stories of faith between Kami and ourselves. Additionally, let us connect the 150 years of the sacred reminder to that of Kyoso-sama's 150 years. To do this, let us practice engaging in dialogue with Kami, turning our focus to the workings of the Hiromai, affirming our bond with Kami-sama through the movement to have a mutual reliant and fulfilling relationship between Kami and humanity. Haire. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to come right over there because I don't want to deal with the lighting. Lighting is weird. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for attending our monthly memorial service today. Let me just do something really. Shut something out really quickly. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Shut that. All right. So thank you very much for coming, for attending today's service. I'm really happy to see all of you. Please, inside the comment section, will you say good morning to everybody? Like, just type a nice good morning to everybody. Definitely share your aloha with everybody. Right? So today, I wanted to share, I think all of you, I think I've shared before that I have been going for this month. It's last week, I was in LA for the Whittier Rose Hills Church's monthly ceremony. And during that time, I went to Gardena Church to work with Uzunue Sensei on preparing for this regional seminar. 2 weeks before the beginning of this month, I thought it was so important to go to the Whittier Rose Hills Church again. Gardena Church again to work with Reverend Uzunue on this. And the last 2 times, and in fact yesterday, I spoke with Uzunoi Sensei, I think, with such a beautiful conversation. The first time I went to Gardena, I spent about maybe 7 hours there working and talking. And really, the challenge of this year's regional seminar is huge. And the kind of discussions we were having, I think, are the kind of discussions that ministers should be having in regards to this matter. And then the 2 weeks, last week when I was there, I spent literally 9 hours with Uzunue Sensei. And Miho Uzunue, also his daughter, second youngest daughter, also helped as well. And it was amazing. It was truly, truly amazing. I was truly grateful for that. And during that process, Uzunue Sensei helped me to realize some things about the 2.5 years I've been here. He's helped me to realize just how spoiled Kami-sama has just how spoiled I am, how Kami-sama has just spoiled me. There's so many things that have happened since I've been here. And one of the big things I can honestly say is this pandemic. It has had a huge impact on all of us. But even more so, it's helped me to realize just how beautiful Kami-sama is. Let me share with you two teachings that I have a sort of a strong affinity to. I'm taking this from the Voice of the Universe. The first teaching says, Tenji Kano Kami is the parent of all people. Why would Kami let his precious children suffer? When you have your own children, you will understand this as well. And the other teaching is, although Kami cannot be seen, is this the one? Oh, I'm sorry. The one is, you should be aware that Kami protects you in the same way as you love your child. Now, I don't have children, but my students where I work at Eastlake High School, my students are like my keiki, my children. They are very special to me, definitely. And in this 2.5 years, and after speaking with Uzunue Sensei, I've come to really feel this parental love even more of Kami-sama, especially during this pandemic. When I first got here, I had nothing but Kami-sama to depend on. I was working part-time. I'm still working part-time, but that's another, working, let's say at 60% capacity at my workplace. And yet I believe that it's through my faith, through my sincerity, that I was able to expand the program that I took over, and I entered into an 80% position. Entered into an 80% position. And then after that, the pandemic happened last year. And because of that, I lost my job temporarily. And I got my job back. But then when I got my job back, my salary fell 20%. When I lost my job, the union had told us, hey, make sure you sign up for food stamp benefits, make sure you sign up for unemployment, and which I have. And when the new school year started, I would learn that I wasn't coming back in my capacity that I was supposed to come back in, which was 80%. I was coming back in a 60% capacity. Knowing that it was due to the pandemic that I not just lost a position, I lost that 20% of my income. Things just happened. During the pandemic, we saw the best of humanity. We saw the worst of humanity. During the pandemic, I don't even know how I survived financially. That was a huge worry, huge burden. I questioned Kami-sama over and over again, like, why am I having this? And yet, during the past 2-3 times I've been talking with Uzue Sensei and reflecting on these 2.5 years, I have to ask myself, how did I survive? Because during this pandemic, I'm not only taking care of one church, I'm now taking care of 2 churches. And no one ever expected that to happen. No one's ever suspected that was going to ever be the case. When I think of my situation, I think of my aunt. My aunt, she was sort of lucky, although she lived on the island of Oahu where her family were. She lived in an area called Wahiawa. And if she were to take the bus, which she did, she took the bus from Wahiawa to Honolulu Church, which was about, from my understanding, over 2 hours easily. The roads were not perfect. Buses weren't the greatest. They're not as fancy as schmancy as they were now. And then she went from Honolulu Church to her family's home in an area called Makali, the Makali area of Honolulu, which was probably another hour, 2 hours. And then she would take the bus home. She refused to have her brothers drive her. So she took the bus home from Honolulu all the way to Wahiawa, which I was told could be anywhere between a 4 to 5 hour journey by bus. And I didn't realize, how much my aunt had to depend on Kami-sama. How much she clung to Kami-sama. And yet during this pandemic, that's what I had to do. I don't know how I was able to take care of 2 churches. being that my salary went below 20%. My salary went down 20%. When it was at 80%, I don't think I truly appreciated the fact that there was this growth. I don't think I truly appreciated that 20% increase from 60 to 80. And now that it's this low, Kami-sama is just amazing because I have not had to suffer. I really haven't. Can you imagine the gas? I think about this sometimes in terms of gas. That to get every day, all the time I've always been able to come to church. Practically every week I've been able to come to church through this pandemic. I've been able to go to LA once a month to care for the Whittier Rose Hills Church. That's a lot of gas. That is a lot of gas. And I'm very grateful that the car that I'm being allowed to borrow functions wonderfully. I found a wonderful, and you'll hear this story inside the church newsletter as soon as I can write it out. I found a wonderful mechanic who's just, and I believe that Mr. Spees is Mitama guided me to this mechanic. I truly do. I truly believe that guided me to this particular mechanic. And yet every month when we have our services, if you've ever seen some of the pictures that I've ever posted, we have had a full, when I first got here, I was told that, the church only had fruits and vegetables as offerings. And in my heart, I said, no, I felt so sorry for Kami-sama. I wanted to do more for Kami-sama. I came from a church, if you've ever seen the church that I came from, that our offerings are so beautiful, are so unique, and it was so full, even for a monthly service. And I felt so bad for Kami-sama. No, I don't care what everybody says. Fruits and vegetables are okay. No, in my heart, I had to do more. I had to take it a step up because in my heart, I just felt like I have been so blessed that I should be able to do this. And this is a church that has had a very traumatic history. And one day this story will be told. But when I started taking care of two churches, I remember Wakiko saying, "Sonna ni ne, osonai wo shinakute ii yo." Meaning, you don't have to do that much osonai. You don't have to do that much. You don't have to offer that much. But in my heart, I know what my spiritual mentor believed in. I know. And I know she's saying that to look after me because I'm driving from San Diego to Whittier. And I told myself, no, I cannot. I just cannot. And when I reflect on the kind of ukage that I'm continuing to receive, the fact that I'm still allowed to receive this unemployment, I'm still allowed to, not all the time though, believe me, I don't get it all the time. And I've been allowed to receive SNAP benefits or food stamps. I cannot help but to think that I want to do more. Last week when I was at the at Gardena Church, I was telling Uzune Sensei and Miho and I, somehow the conversation about Osonai came up. And Uzune Sensei said, "Oh, but Todd Sensei, you don't have to. That's not important, right? It's not about." I said, "I know," and I was telling him that I felt this passion, this desire that this is something I had to do. I had to. If this was Yukawa Sensei, he would have done this. If this was my head minister, he would have done this. If this was the second head minister, my first parent minister, Reverend Kikue Kodama, she would have done this and then some. That's just the way she is. And then he shared with me this teaching, and I've always known this teaching, but he said, "But you don't." And then he shared with this teaching. It comes from, again, the Voice of the Universe, 192. It says, and it's from the Naiden. The Naiden is, if I am correct, this is the one that has, these are teachings that were found, but there's no name attached to them. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I just have to look it up again. But it says, people say that one candle offered by the poor is the same as 1,000 offered by the rich. There are some people who cannot afford even one candle. Kami will accept anything, whether it be a candle or incense. If a whole stick of incense cannot be offered, half of it will do. Kami will accept it like a whole candle. If even incense cannot be offered, offer a spark by striking a flint. Kami will accept it like a candle. There are people who can receive blessings even from the ashes of incense. The third Konko-sama wrote this beautiful, in his own calligraphy writing, the character says, Makoto no michi, or a sincere way. This path, this faith, this faith is not about making me look good. No. It is about sincerity. This is the way of sincerity. You want favor? Be sincere. You want to be able to do different things. You want to you want to live a joyful life. Be sincere. You don't have to make yourself look beautiful in front of other people. Miho Uzunoe, during that conversation, said, Todd Sensei, I have an idea. You don't have to use your money anymore. Use your SNAP benefits for it. Use your food stamps to buy the offerings. And I said, absolutely not. I will never do that. Those SNAP benefits were meant for me, my own personal use. From my salary, I've never touched my unemployment for Kami-sama, and I've never touched my SNAP benefits for Kami-sama. Absolutely not. Anything for Kami-sama comes from my personal salary. It has to. It has to. Because if not, why am I using public money for our church? No. I've made sure I completely separate those two things. Miho looked at me. She said, I've never seen anyone like this before. It would be, Todd Sensei, it would be easier on you if you just did that, but I've never seen anyone say that they insist on using their personal finances when it's easy to instead of taking the easier route. You know, my spiritual mentor, Reverend Wakiko Igawa, shared that when we do goyo with a sincere heart, let me rephrase this. Because I'm thinking about, and let me translate it a little more directly in Japanese to English. As long as you do goyo with a sincere heart, Kami-sama will take care of the time, the health, and the finances you need to do your goyo. And I cannot help but to believe that what she says is true. I think about the 2.5 years I'm here. I don't even know how I've survived. All I know is I've survived because of Kami-sama. It is because of Kami-sama. And hopefully my sincere heart. You know, there's a teaching that states, and you know, after talking to Uzunoe Sensei, I cannot help but to think that this is the kind of faith that my aunt Haruko had. The teaching says, people say that, no, wrong thing. Whoops, where'd it go? Hey, I found it. Wrong teaching. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is, sorry. Oh, wrong one. Hey, I wrote it down. Don't mind me. I thought I had everything in order, but I'm missing a teaching. Anyway, I cannot find any here, but here's... Hold on. I'm just reading through my notes. Anyway, I'm not sure where I put that teaching, but I found the teaching in here. The teaching is very simple. It says, trust in heaven and depend on earth. Trust in heaven and depend on earth. The founder taught us, ten machiji chiwaha. Heaven is the skies, the heaven, the top. This is the universe, is the father. Chi, the earth, is the mother. The reason why my aunt entered into this faith is because when she heard the first sermon she had heard was about the earth, about how the earth is like our mother. It accepts, it nurtures us. It accepts everything. And as long as we cling to our mother, if you think about this, if we think about a child breastfeeding, how it clings to its mother for life. If we think about that child, even if they're not breastfeeding, they could be sucking on a nipple. A nipple is as close to a mother as it might get. And if you think about how protective a mother is, as in the last teaching we had, how a parent protects their own child, when we turn our hearts to Kami-sama, when we, as we read in the Kyodan no Negai, the Kongo Kyo organization prayer, we turn our hearts to Kami-sama. We have this dialogue, continuous dialogue with Kami-sama. Kami-sama just takes care of everything. Kami-sama just embraces us. And in this 2.5 years, after talking with Uzuno Sensei, I cannot help but to think, this is what's happening to me. This is what's happening to me. I have nobody else to trust in. I have nobody else to cling to but Kami-sama. And I have to cling to Kami-sama with my dear life, because that's all. I cannot, my real parents, I cannot depend on my real parents because they have their own homes to live on. You know, they have their own finances. They live on a budget. Kyosu-sama taught us. You're going to hear a whole bunch of teachings today. Kyosu-sama taught us, people say that Kami has deserted them. But Kami never deserts people. People desert Kami. Think about it. Something goes wrong. Kami, God, why? Why? And then you run away from Kami-sama. During this pandemic, just recently, in the past 3 months, I came to learn that the section, I was supposed to have 3 sections of Japanese. I found out that one of the colleagues from another school took one of those positions. I came to find out that he took that position illegally. He played the system, and I was mad. And then we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago where he stated out, someone asked him, oh, how are things going? And he stated, oh, yeah, things are going okay, but not okay. I don't have all the classes. So I'm hoping to take 2 classes from a program that I built. I've been, not built, I didn't build this program. I'm rebuilding this program. He wanted to take 2 more classes from me. I was mad. I think anybody would be mad. And I turned to Kami and said, I'm not going to doubt you. You have allowed me to receive full-time employment for next school year. You need to take care of this matter. I'm going to trust that you're going to take care of this matter. And the story of why this person got this position will become unraveled. It will become unraveled. I refuse to give up on Kami-sama because Kami-sama has not given up on me. Even amongst this pandemic, even when I see the worst of people, I have to be scared. You know, when I go to New York next month, I'm a little scared because of what I've seen, but I have no choice but to cling to Kami-sama. I get a little scared when I go to LA because when I hear of the things going on against Asian Americans and being biracial myself, I'm a little scared. But I have only Kami-sama to cling to. And even amongst all this, everything that's been going on in our government, it's easy to run away from Kami-sama instead of turning to Kami-sama and saying, Kami-sama, let's pray, let's work together. This is why inside the Norito here, I've asked Kami-sama to please use us as instruments of peace. So in my everyday life, I have to reflect Kami-sama in my, not just my heart, not just in my words, but in my everyday actions. You know, some people, this way is a way of sincerity. This faith is a faith of sincerity. And this sincerity is so powerful. It affects everybody. it truly does affect us. Some people try to think logically of how can I go about receiving okage. They try to find this logical methodology to figuring out the quickest way to receiving okage. I will be honest, I was that person a long time ago. I realized there is no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. Every experience is important for us. You know, Kyosu-sama had one teaching that says, where did I put it? There are people, this is from Kondo Fujimori, received by Kondo Fujimori. There are people who claim that the universe works this way and that, but they really don't understand it. If they did, they would be able to stop the rise and fall of tides. People think that we can control Kami-sama. No, nobody controls Kami-sama. Kami-sama defies logic. We think, and sometimes I think logically, but I realize no, sincerity defies logic. And I want you to keep that in mind. I want all of you to keep that in mind. Kami-sama receives and listens to a sincere heart, a sincere prayer, a sincere mediation. Not one that makes you look good. Like, oh, I got to make myself good look. I don't want Sensei to think badly of me. Kami-sama already sees that. Then you're not being sincere. When I received Toritsugi with our spiritual patriarch, Kyoshi Konko-sama, and even with Reverend Masao Yukawa, I don't hide anything anymore. I don't want to look good in front of them. I want them to know the truth. Here's a mistake I made. Here is what's going on at our church. Here is what's going on in my life. Here's the good, bad, and ugly. And the pretty. Because I know that logic doesn't work with Konkokyo. Logic does not work with Kami-sama. Because Kami-sama defies and can defy logic. I have experienced this more times than I wish to share. Not share, but I'd love to share, but this sermon would go on and on and on and on. But I've experienced so much. We would be here for forever. Example after example. And if these 2.5 years are anything, it's taught me about Kami-sama's love for me. Kami-sama's love for each of us. It taught me how much my parent, when I cling to my parent clings to me. Keeps me safe from harm. Keeps me safe. You can tell it keeps me safe from starving because I'm pretty chubby for myself. Today, I'm hoping that you'll take away this important message. And this message is sincerity. That through sincerity, Kami-sama is going to listen to you. Being honest, being sincere, and if you give up on Kami-sama, then you've turned your back on Kami-sama. You left Kami-sama. You let Kami-sama go. Sincerity can pierce even a rock. And I believe that. Sincerity can pierce the hardest of hearts. Sincerity in our faith, clinging to Kami-sama during these times of craziness. Being honest with Kami-sama. This is how we receive okage or diva or favor. Kami's favors, not blessings. The fact that we receive life every day is a huge blessing. The fact that we receive Kami's grace in our lives every day is a huge blessing. The fact that we're able to breathe is a huge blessing. But the favor is the plus alpha in our lives. Is that extra that we always ask for. I ask you to think about Sandai Konko-sama's Makoto no Michi. or the way of sincerity. This way of sincerity opens doors for all of us in faith, in our relationship with Kami-sama, and with other people in the world. So I hope, hopefully, slowly things are opening up for all of us in this world. And as we enter in this new norm, I think sincerity will take us very far. Sincerity will carry us very far. Hopefully to making this world a much, much better place. I may sound like an idealist, but I'd rather keep that kind of positivity than enter into negativity with me. So thank you. Thank you for listening. I just have a few announcements really quickly. One, if you have not joined our Instagram or Facebook, please feel free to. I post things in there all the time. And I've been doing in the Instagram, I have been doing mini videos as well, answering questions that have come up before. So, I will be answering. There's a question that I need to answer. I haven't answered it yet, but someone asked me a question, so I'll be answering it in another video. So please join us on Instagram and Facebook as well. If you have not filled out the survey, please fill out the survey below. And then please know that from the 4th through the 11th of June, again, I will be in New Jersey. I will be helping Miko Sanchez help her parents out and helping her sister out in caring for Reverend Wakiko and Kyoshi Igawa during that time period. Even though it's a short time period, but I'll be there. And then I will be back for our monthly service again on the 29th, June 29th through July 15th. I will be back home in Hawaii for about 2.5 weeks. I kind of need to spend time with my parents. They're kind of getting older. And I know my mom really wants to see me. So I thank you for your understanding and letting me go. On June 13th, I'm going to double check right now but I think I'm correct, June 13th. And I will have the links ready. On June 13th is our monthly service, monthly service to Kami-sama and monthly memorial service. June 19th, which is a Saturday, is the Tenchi Kane no Kami grand ceremony for the Whittier Rose Hills Church. And June 27th is the memorial service for Yukawa Sensei and the half-year purification and appreciation ceremony as well. So those are a whole lot of dates. June 13th, June 19th, and June 27th are 3 service dates as well. And I will be in LA for about a week, helping to clean up the church in preparation for Godaisai there. Please join us for Godaisai there. I don't know who the guest speaker is because we haven't decided on it yet, but please feel free to join us. We'd love to have you join us for that service as well. But until then, please, everyone, take care. Please be safe. If you wish to receive Toritsugi, please feel free to use text messaging, email as well. Oh, I forgot. So I will also be going up to Los Angeles to help with the regional, it's no longer a regional seminar. It's kind of a big seminar. We're just letting everybody join. So if you'd like to join the seminar, please let me know. Email me, Facebook, email, whatever. I will send you the link for it. There's homework for it as well, but we will send you the link. Just let me know. We're trying to make sure that we avoid any Zoom bombers from getting in. But please feel free to join us. We'd love to have you. But until I see you next month, ahuiho, malama pono, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. And keep your heart turned to Kami-sama. Aloha.